The fireworks are getting set to go for 4th of July week, 4th of July. And Baylor just had some big major fireworks of their own in the 2025 recruiting class. I mentioned on Monday's show, it was going to be a huge week no matter what, if they got no pen to paper or no commitment graphics or anything. And it didn't start off all that well. We had looked at really two guys, one on each side of the ball, right? Caleb Burns from Cypress, and then Jacorey Watson from Shadow Creek. The Caleb Burns, the linebacker, commits to Tech on Monday. Ugh, not great. Starting the week 0 for 1. Then you get a little bit of a boost. A guy I wasn't talking about, but should have been talking about, the big defensive tackle from Lorena, Jackson Blackwell, one in your own backyard, says yes, he does commit to Baylor. That's a nice pickup. I always talk about how important it is to get those guys in your actual recruiting area. And then we settle on Jacorey Watson. We shift our focus there Tuesday afternoon, and the 4-star receiver commits to Baylor. Big time win for this coaching staff. Is it the end all be all? No one recruit is, I would say. But this is a big step in the right direction. Another one that you're prying over a conference rival and a local rival. I know UH is not challenging for the conference title this year. Neither is Baylor. But you picked a kid from Houston's backyard, even with their new exciting coaching staff and them being in the Big 12 and having more of a seat at the big-time college football table, and you took him. You took one of the most exciting guys from a very fruitful backyard that is Houston and signed him to Baylor instead. He actually picked Baylor over UH and Boston College. I can hear it in the streets here in suburban Boston. They can't believe what's just happened. The lovers are crying and the poets are dreaming. The church bells all are broken on the heights. As he says, the Catholics with all the stairs, no thank you. I'm staying home. I'm enjoying this heat in the summer, and I'm going to hang out with the Baptists on Saturdays in the fall. He is a Baylor Bear. Big time with his 2025 recruiting class. It was one that was reeling, and I'm not saying is up there with one of the very best in the country right now, but adding an elite athlete like Jacorey Watson is a big step towards solidifying that class and certainly helping out this coaching staff. We talked about Jacorey a little bit on Monday. He is coming in as a receiver. He's got some real terrific speed in the open field, but he is playing quarterback at Shadow Creek, or at least was last year. That's one of those guys you just get the ball to whenever you possibly can. And that worked out well for Shadow Creek. He threw for just under 1,000 passing yards, caught for or received through more than 300 rushing yards or receiving yards. There we go. I got it. Had 8 receiving touchdowns. Also had 13 passing touchdowns. 4 on the ground as well, in case you're interested in that. Just an all-time just athlete. 3 syllables, athlete. And that is what this new offense needs more than anything. Again, we saw it in the Art Briles days when they were last running this offense. It wasn't necessarily the most polished possession receivers out there. You had some of those. Obviously, Katie Cannon was one of those for sure. What they were getting were elite athletes that were becoming all-conference receivers. I'm thinking about guys like Corey Coleman. I'm thinking about guys like Tevin Reese. I'm thinking about guys like Josh Gordon. Those kind of guys. Even a Kendall Wright. Burners who had some ball skills, who weren't getting recruited at big-time football programs. Of course, Jacorey Watson is, but that they were able to thrive in this kind of offense. And that is what you've got, once again, in Jacorey Watson. A bit more polished than some of those guys, but one who's playing all over the field in high school football in a very competitive pocket of the country for high school football and is dominating. And now you've got him coming to the Baylor Bears. This is another guy, I know I've said this a few times. It's not the case with all Baylor's prospects or all prospects in general, but this is one whose stock is going to rise even more during his senior season. He is a composite 4-star on 247, a low 4-star for whatever that means. He is one who I think you will see on your Twitter feed this year, on your YouTube, on your Dave Campbell's, and you're going to say, "Whoa, that guy's coming to us." This guy who's juking out everybody in the stadium, who's outrunning whoever's left. That guy gonna be a Baylor Bear? He sure is. Jacorey Watson, big time win for this recruiting staff on the offensive side. Jackson Blackwell from Lorena, another bonus on the defensive side. Getting some of that Lorena Leopard blood in there with Jaden Porter joining the team this year and going through spring practice. Now Jackson Blackwell as well. Congrats to Dallas Baker. Congrats to Dallas Baker. I can't believe he was able to win that when someone came up to Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts this time of year, had a nice, 75 to 82 degree day up here in the hub and said, "Nah, I'm going to Baylor." Just like Cam Stewart did all those years ago. Congrats to the Bears and to Jacorey Watson on this big dub. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. We really appreciate that. And if you want to keep up to date on all the Baylor sports news, be sure to give us a like and ring the notification bell, because we are your first listen today and every day. We are your exclusive home for nothing but Baylor sports content 5 days a week that's not coming straight from the university. Be sure to follow us here on YouTube and also wherever you get your podcasts, and on Twitter as well at Locked On Baylor. Thanks so much again. Have a good one, and sick 'em.